Greetings, universe. I love people. I was just, I was just taking my dog out for his morning walk, and I had three, just regular conversations with people, small talk conversations, and it's just so pleasant. I feel like people are all just such sweeties, at least on the inside. It's like sometimes things mess us up, we get scarred, and so we're more touchy. But I just think people are really cool. And it got me thinking as I was going in the elevator to come back up to my floor, my apartment. I was like, I wanna help people. I wanna make this place better. But then that got me thinking. This video I watched yesterday from one of my teachers, who taught me a lot of the esoteric, magical rituals that I did for five years, several times a day, until very recently, when I felt like I started entering a fermentation phase. But he was talking about how having a savior complex isn't necessarily good. And kind of saying, like, if you want to save people, it kind of implies that some sort of hierarchy where you think you know what can save them. And not only that, but, and this was a point I for sure agreed with, where most people, in my experience, it's been this way too, don't want to be told things to do better, or, like, given unsolicited advice. Most people, I don't know, in my experience, they don't want to be poked in their axioms. They don't want to have a light shown on their shadow. They're just trying to get through the day. And so I'm like, what would help even look like? How could I even help if I wanted to help? And then it comes back to, like, the whole point of this channel. It's like the only thing you really can do is work on yourself. And that, like, I named this channel like 6 years ago when I made it, Last Man to Superman, because I was just getting into Nietzsche. And his idea is, like, there's the last man, which is after the collapse of meaning that came when we killed God, as he pronounced. The idea being we killed God with our rationality in the Enlightenment period, and that before that there was a lot of meaning because people believed in something transcendental, something more than matter. But my dog wants a toy. Here you go, buddy. He goes and stands up on the edge and looks down at his bag of toys expectantly, and I oblige him. But yeah, so the last man, Nietzsche said, is like the most contemptible thing. It's this man who, in place of meaning, and not just man, obviously human, in place of meaning, they fill that meaning, honestly, a lot of time with nothing. It's like with hedonism and nihilism, basically. Which you look around in the world and you can kind of see where it's like cringe to express real emotion. At least in most circles, One cool thing is it seems to be changing, but that's a kind of a tangent. But I've met a lot of people where it isn't that way, which is nice. But then the Superman, the Ubermensch, is one who can create their own values, which is really hard, because if you think nothing matters, why are you going to go through all this effort to do things that matter? And it's kind of confusing to try to say, but it's basically going from hedonistic nihilism to striving to make order out of chaos a little bit, which is what I've been doing the last 6 years, and which is kind of, I think, in a sense, the only. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe when I finish this growing, this healing, I can help the world, but because I would like to make it a better place. I look at the world and I do see, like, I'm like, would it be nicer if there was a more even wealth distribution? I like capitalism too. I think people should be able to put in effort to increase their quality of life. But the floor should be higher too, I think. I've got all sorts of ideas, and maybe I'm a little too, I don't know, I wonder if I'm a little too hard on myself, because I attack those ideas too. I'm like, well, didn't they all and the nun make this place the way it is? You know, didn't I become what I am today because of this place? Is there a good reason this place is this place? Who am I to look at the nature of reality and say, it could be better? Or maybe that's exactly what I should do. It's very confusing. I don't know if this video has a point. I just wanted to, when I was coming up the elevator, I was like, I got these ideas. Let's say them. And then I feel like I'm gonna post them. How long has this been? 5 minutes, that's pretty reasonable. But change, I think, has to begin in the individual. Like Jesus said, you know, how can you point out, oh, I wish I could remember it better, but it's a line where it's like, well, one line is like, let he who is without sin throw the first stone, but there's this other line that I was thinking of where it's like, I can't remember how it starts, but how it ends is you got to pull the logs out of your own eyes before you go and help your brothers and sisters pull the logs out of the splinters out of their eyes. Yeah. And so I guess we'll see what happens, huh? Because, I mean, as a minor update to this channel, right? Like, I was just watching some of my old videos, and it's really cool because 6 years ago, 2019, after my like second serious relationship ended, my life crashed and burned, and I restarted. I wanted to improve myself, and I found Nietzsche, and I was like, let's get some positive habits. And you know, past me, those actions have borne fruit, because here I am today, 6 years later, and I've got positive habits. They're not hard to do anymore. Oh, it makes me emotional to think about, because you know, back then, I thought when I thought like ADHD was like these walls before me where I just couldn't do things I wanted to do. I thought I needed medication, but I've since discovered after my experimenting with medication, I don't need medication. What I needed, well, maybe, well, it's kind of funny is what happened to me is like a spiritual activation / awakening from being abusing that medication. And after that happened, I found I could just do what I wanted to do. I mean, I have to put in the work. I gotta regulate myself, which is to say, you know, not let my default mode network run wild with me. I've got to rein myself in. I've got to enter these non-sleep, deep rest states. But if I do that, I can do whatever I set my mind to now. And indeed, you know, I've been exercising every day. I've been like entering those states. I've been reading nonfiction. Those are these goals that I wanted to be doing. Oh, you can't see my hand. I'm doing this. And even recently, I've stopped smoking weed all the time. Like that was another thing, something I struggled with for almost half of my life, 14 years. I was just 24/7 all the time being high, and I still love it. I'm still now I'm getting high mostly every night, but I'm just going through my regular days, doing all the things I need to do without it, and it's just cool. So a little update to my channel, a little ramble. I feel like the future looks bright.